Hey guys, I'm Ariana The Techie. I've been in tech for 15 years since I was 15 years old, and I've started 3 different tech startups in 3 different industries. Okay, so many of you believe that AI will not be replacing your job, and so I may make this into a series, but I just wanted to talk about the top 3 very replaceable industries and positions just to kind of help you all get prepared and start planning for the future now. So let's get into it. All right, real estate agents, you're up first. So this is, when I saw this in the news, this is when I said, okay, great, it's all over, quite literally. So eSelf AI is a tech startup that built basically this e-commerce platform where you can literally rent virtual people, aka virtual assistants, to do different types of jobs for you. And so real estate agents is one of the first, angles that they kind of targeted. And this AI agent that they've launched, there was a company in Portugal, specifically is what the article talks about. And the agent has already helped them generate over $100 million in sales. In actual sales. And so, what this particular AI agent did was it helped answer phone calls, answer basic questions around like budgeting, location, demographics. Of course, you still need a physical person to drive you to a location, give you a tour and all that type of stuff. But if you are a real estate agent, many of you absolutely will be replaced, or if you play this very smart, you'll use this as a way to build an extension of yourself. I also know that eSelf AI also allows for digital twins, where you can literally create a digital copy of you and use a virtual you to kind of help get your job done faster. So although definitely all of you are going to be replaced, I think that those of you who are real estate agents who are eager and you're on top of your game, you're just going to use this as a tool to really make your job easier. So anywho, let's go to the second one, which is social media influencers. This is getting pretty serious. So I'm not gonna hold y'all. Even I thought that social media influencers would have a little bit more time than other sectors, just because of how personable, influencers are. I still believe that is true. These platforms like Zeely and others still have a lot of room for improvement, but the time frame for that room of improvement that's needed, it's just, the window is getting shorter and shorter. And so again, many of you are going to be replaced. So Zeely is a platform of many where you can literally use virtual assistants, virtual beings to create your content, right? Whether that's static or dynamic videos and photos. To be frank, this is really helpful for business owners, for those of you who want to save money on capital because you can't pay somebody $1,000 to do a video clip. Now you can get Zeely AI assistants to literally do content for you. I know they're even working on product testing. There's another app that recently launched that I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but they allow you to try on even fashion clothes, and it looks like you. There's a digital twin version of you that's kind of wearing it, so you can get an idea. So this industry is changing faster than we think, and social media influencers really, I think, for social media influencers to be super successful and generate a lot of revenue, you have to be super niche, super unique, and people just have to love your content. So great social media influencers and real people will always exist, but for many of you that do these brand deals and you post this content and stuff like that, please expect for brands and companies to begin to start to slow down working directly with real people and going the more virtual route. So social media influencers for sure. Next, let's talk about attorneys. That is something that's pretty serious. So we all knew this was coming. Attorneys. For my last tech startup that I built, I literally spent over $60,000 in a year on just legal fees and legal things that I had to structurally have together, foundational documents, building of my cap table of investors, and so much more. And so it's really expensive, especially if you want to go with a super vetted and trusted law firm like a Big 10, or even a smaller law firm is also still expensive. And so, for basic contracts and stuff, I think the reality is even attorneys are using AI to help them write contracts faster. Now, I have 2 opinions on this. I think that attorneys will always be around, of course. It's just that law firms are going to they're going to need less amounts of attorneys. And so because of that, there are going to be a lot of attorneys on the market who end up starting their own firms and doing contract work for small business owners and startups all over the world. And so you can look at it right here. Like literally the hourly rates are anywhere between 150 to 400, which I think per hour, that's actually still pretty good for an attorney. But depending on your budget, that can be super expensive and also very stressful. And so I will admit, like, I definitely use ChatGPT to write contracts that are very simple, very complex things. Like, you know, if you're dealing with a deal that's worth more than like $20,000, like you need to have an attorney involved. Like you just want to make sure that your ducks are in a row. And a human being I think will always be needed because it's great to have them review. But let's be clear, like we have all, especially if you've been in business for a long time, we've all had that one attorney where you're like, hey, I can tell you are making this phone call conversation longer than what it should be. Let's just get straight to the point. And so because of that, this completely whole industry will just be decimated 100%. I think it's not even, I think like it's happening now. Even Rocket Lawyer, when they launched years ago, they were like the first iteration of the legal industry being completely transformed. And so we're seeing it happen before our eyes. There are tons of legal AI companies. I am not an attorney, so don't tell somebody that you use this video to do whatever in the court of law, whatever. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. You know, I'm just giving advice from my industry perspective. But yeah, if you're an attorney, if I were you, I would be planning to basically like, don't be that anti-AI attorney because they're going to be the ones that are losing clients and you're not going to be able to compete with those of your competitors and, you know, teammates, classmates, whatever, that are, you know, outpacing you because they are using AI. So AI and legal attorneys, this is like the most obvious one.